The second thing I saw while working at a Scientology mission that really troubled me was when a young man came into our mission for some counseling, or what we called auditing. His father had actually brought him into us, and I think, from what I recall, his father wasn't even a Scientologist, but somebody in our recruiting office had convinced his father that we could help his son overcome his depression. So this young man comes in for regular auditing sessions, and I was really curious to watch his progress, because here was somebody that actually had the money to pay for the counseling that none of us could afford. That's why most of us worked on staff. And so I would regularly see him in our lobby, and I would ask him how he was doing, expecting to be inspired as to how wonderful Scientology was. And I remember after he'd had quite a few hours of the auditing, he made some comment to me about suicide being an option. And I don't know how serious he was there, but he just did not look happy. And I remember thinking, gosh, here I am working for Scientology with the idea that at some point I'm going to be able to receive this auditing, and it's going to turn me into some sort of a superhuman, and I'm going to be so happy, and all these great things are going to be happening to me. And yet I'm looking at this young man, and he's had all this auditing, and he's not happy. Of course, the Scientology people always had an explanation for everything. They would probably have told me that this young man had some secrets that he wasn't revealing, or what they called overts and withholds. And the other thing about Scientology is, now a lot of people think that Scientology is a God-based religion because of the cross on top of their building. I don't know why they use the cross, because when I was in Scientology, I never heard God addressed in any significant way, or any way at all that I can recall. Um, I remember they referred to God as being the eighth dynamic, but as far as like concepts like praying to God or having faith in God, I never heard anything of that nature. In fact, really, the truth is, in Scientology, we thought we were going to become like gods in ourselves. I mean, if you knew the way the average Scientologist thought, they believed that they could pretty much decide anything would happen a certain way, and it would happen. I'll give you an example of what I mean. One day I'm driving down to the Scientology church with a friend of mine, and I said, there's probably not going to be any parking when we get there. And she said to me, well, no, just decide there's going to be parking. And so that was typical thinking of Scientology. Another time, I remember this same gal had gone into great debt with her mother. She kept borrowing money, and she said to me, I'm not going to borrow any more money from my mother. This is getting ridiculous. I owe her so much now. And a short time later, she was buying this fancy car, and once again, her mother was financing the operation. And I asked her, how come you're borrowing more money from your mother? I thought you said you weren't going to do that anymore. And she said, well, oh no, it's okay, because I decided I'm going to win the lottery or some contest like that. So that was typical thinking in Scientology. And again, it was not a God-based religion at all that I can recall. At least not in the courses that I took, and I never heard any Scientology members speak of God or Jesus Christ. So what's with the cross? I have no idea. I guess it's maybe to give the appearance of being a bona fide religion, some aspect of Christianity. Anyway, just another story to the collection of stories here. Thanks for listening.